Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I'm popping off to the EGX show, that's the Entertainment Gaming Expo in London, for the next 2 days. So, just a quickie today. Well, I say quickie, it's still over 10 minutes long. It's a quickie by my standards. This is Husky Dog 44 in the E-50 Tier 10 match on Prokhorovka. Looking at the team lists, it doesn't seem as if either side has any particular advantages, although the enemy team has more of the mediums than the heavies, which is bad news if you're on the team with all the heavies and you're in a medium. They do have 2 Tier 10 mediums though, a Leopard and a Patton, and they're both rushing up to work the ridgeline in the middle of the map. In the E-50, however, Husky, very, very accurate gun, and he's already scored first blood. Scored a hit there. And then he does something very, very ballsy. He's not actually using any concealment. He's relying on the Leopard and the Patton up in front of him, lighting up targets for him, and the view range of the enemy vehicles being what it is that keeps him safe. And this is about as close as he can reliably get to these guys, because that Pershing and the Leopard, who are also working the ridgeline, they're 440 to 450 metres away. Now, they may have a 400 metre view range, but if they're running with coated optics, even while they're moving, that Leopard could spot him from here. Hang on a minute. Is that a T110E5 up here with him? There's only 3 Tier 10 tanks on each side in this match, and he is the only Tier 10 heavy tank in the entire match, and I can probably think of better places for him to put that tank in encounter mode on Prokhorovka than in the bottom southwest corner, hiding behind the E-50. Ah, World of Tanks, you so silly. But, yeah. And there we go. Bat chat spotted. Now that was the other thing that I was going to say. Even if the guys in the middle of the ridgeline, in the centre of the field, didn't have the view range, even with coloured optics to spot you, there's always going to be somebody in those bushes. Right where that bat chat was spotted. And when you pop over this ridgeline, he's going to spot you, even if these guys don't. But he's still not exactly in a bad position. Providing artillery doesn't start paying attention to him, and there's plenty of other targets for artillery to shoot at, he's actually not in a terrible spot here. All he's showing them is his turret and a heavily angled upper glacis. And technically, he has the gun for this kind of work. The gun on the E-50 is not a typical medium tank gun. It's decent alpha, slow reload, very, very good accuracy, decent penetration. It's the kind of gun that you expect to see on a tank destroyer. So it's not completely unusual to see people using the E-50, at least at first, as a long-range fire support tank. It's something that it's actually pretty good at, just apparently not today. For some reason, whether that's bad luck, poor aiming, RNG, lag, the E-50 just being the E-50, or whatever, he's actually missed most of the shots he's fired. And now, of course, the problem with deciding that you're going to play as a long-range support fire tank is that there have to be tanks up front for you to give fire support from long range to. And his team has just run out of their Tier 10s. The Patton and the Leopard that were working the mid-ridge are both dead. The T110E5 died some time ago. And you really don't want to be stuck in this southwestern corner of the map with a whole bunch of Tier 9 and 10 medium tanks coming running towards you. And so he's getting the hell out of there. Unfortunately, the poor old KV-4, who is stuck in the bottom southwestern corner of the map, can't get out of there as quickly as an E-50 can, so he's pretty much resigned to his fate. All of which means that for the price of a Leopard and a Pershing, the enemy team have as good as wiped out a third of Husky's team, including all 3 of their Tier 10s. They've achieved complete domination of the western side of the map. They're going to kill that KV-4 soon, he can't possibly hope to hold them back. Which means, because let's not forget, this is an encounter version of Prokhorovka, they're now free to sweep around and put pressure on the cap from both sides. So what Husky would like to do is find a spot over here where he can actually put shots in them when they come sweeping over after killing that KV-4, because they are going to be very, very vulnerable when they do that. Unfortunately, the enemy tanks on the middle, up by the cap, keep spotting him. And he can't sit on top of this railway embankment. There's absolutely no cover here. Having a look around, trying to decide what's the best thing to do. KV-4 is still alive. They're taking their time putting pressure on him, but these guys here, they keep spotting him and lighting him up. He's thinking about dropping down into the bushes at the back there, but once you're in those bushes and they start coming for you, you can't get out. Spotted again, he's got to get out of here. Yep, here comes the incoming. Got to make a move. Can't stand on top of that railway embankment while being spotted. Now this spot that he's moved to down here is actually quite sneaky. All those guys in the middle actually directly threatening the cap. Well, for a start, there's all sorts of solid cover between himself and them. And if they do pop up over that central railway embankment and spot him, because he's in lower ground than them, they're going to have to come right over the top of the embankment in order to put shots down into him. And that's going to make them vulnerable. He's also able to get some decent flanking fire in on this T-28 prototype. Now, it would be great if the guys on the hill could give a bit more in the way of support and fire against the Tier 8s who are trying to hold back the cap. But they're being suppressed by the enemy Jagdpanzer E-100, who's on that little island up to the northeast. And that's when the Lerva goes full retard. You never go full retard. Don't know what he thought he was going to achieve there. Well, anyway, he's dead. The KV-4, by the way, died some time ago. He was killed by the Batchat, who pretty much killed everything else over on the western flank. Which, of course, means that artillery is going to be next. That Batchat's going to be sweeping across the field, looking for fresh victims to om-nom-nom on. And Arnie can't really do anything about it as long as there's a Jagdpanther 2 and an E-50 spotting the entire middle of the map there. As soon as he tries to break cover from the bushes and get over that railway embankment, they will spot him and he will die. So he's kind of pinned in those bushes, just waiting for the Batchat to come over and kill him. And once the Batchat kills artillery, Husky's going to be next. They've got to deal with these tanks in the centre of the map so that he can defend himself against any threats coming over. Like that Batchat, for example. There's the Jagdpanther 2. This guy needs to die. Oh, they've just lost their artillery. They've just lost their artillery to the Batchat. Nobody even saw him. So the artillery couldn't have been using the bush as well. Okay, there we go. They've killed the Jagdpanther 2. Now, that Batchat's going to be coming over that railway embankment any second now. Husky needs to be in a position where he can do something about it, which either means back up there on the ridge, but he's never going to make it in time, or here, in cover here, down by these bushes. Unfortunately, the Batchat spotted him anyway. Big fat German ass sticking out the rear of the bushes. Batchat came over, didn't come over the middle, he came over the bottom end. Now he's got to move. The enemy still have artillery, and as far as Husky is aware, he's the only tank on his team that has been spotted. And if the enemy artillery has any sense, and he's not a terrible player, he's going to be supporting the Batchat. Husky's in a horrible, horrible position here. It is possible, of course, that the Batchat also spotted that T-95 up in the cap, as he keeps popping over the ridge. And oh, there's the Jagdtiger as well. So artillery, if they've got a choice between shooting a moving E-50 or a T-95, they're going to be shooting the T-95. And this is where things start to take a turn for the surreal. The Batchat is not using a fire extinguisher. And he does kill the T-95. Husky's unable to blow his tracks off and pin him in position. Slow reload on the E-50's gun, but then the Jagdtiger hits him. Oh no, but hang on. How much damage? The Jagdtiger's firing high explosive. Seriously. The Batchat pops over again, and this is where things start getting really, really funny. The Batchat is a premium ammunition spammer. And he's bounced or hit his tracks with every shot he's fired. He's done no damage. He's hit him 3 times. No damage. Well, the Batchat looks like he's reloading now. Our high explosive firing Jagdtiger decides, screw this, ramming speed. Husky tries to back up. does more damage to the Yak Tiger. The Yak Tiger hits him with more HE, and he manages to, well, there was nothing really difficult about that. There's the Batchat again. He's not going to be sitting on the ridge unless he's ready to fire, but terrible, terrible, terrible gun depression. Bounces more gold ammo off the front of the E-50. He hasn't done any damage to him yet. Husky hits him again. Batchat bounces more gold ammunition off the front of the E-50, and Husky kills him. Batchat driver got to be raging. I mean, for God's sake, how much money do I have to spend in order to be able to buy a win in this bloody game? I think that's hilarious. Fantastic stuff. Well, ironic and highly amusing though that was, it's not over yet, because he's now alone against 2 enemy tanks. One of them is a mighty Jägeru, the Jagdpanzer E-100. The M103 on the team decided that the best way he could contribute to the success of this match was not to support Husky against the Batchat and the Yak Tiger, but instead to leave the safety of the top of the hill and drive across the middle of an open field in order to take on a Jagdpanzer E-100 from the front. So, unsurprisingly, he's dead, and now it's just Husky against the Jägeru and the GW Tiger P. And Husky's loaded high explosive. He's got 2 rounds of high explosive, and he's clearly going after the artillery. He knows that the Jagdpanzer E-100 is on the other side of that ridge, and he did get spotted as he crossed to the crest in the middle of the field. So the GW Tiger P knows he's going to be coming, but here's the problem when you're firing high explosive at high tier artillery. If they know you're coming, they're going to be having their front pointing towards you. And they tend to have a lot of armour at the front. GW Tiger P has 440 health. And apparently a ridiculous camo rating. There he is. Direct hit, high explosive, 138 damage. Husky takes a hit in return. He's lucky to survive it, but he's been ammo racked. And he's used his repair kit. This is not good. Not going up against a Jagdpanzer E-100. So, the Jägeru just has to hit him once to kill him. Hell, the Jägeru could fire high explosive at him at this point and probably still kill him in one hit. On the plus side, we know exactly where he is. He's sitting in the cap circle. How do we know this? We're being capped. There's only 1 tank left. He has to be in the cap circle. So, he's ammo racked. He's less than 400 health. He does not know how much health the Jagdpanzer E-100 has. All he knows is he's in that cap circle somewhere. What does he have going for him? Well, he does have the advantage of being able to pick his angle of attack. He can come at the Jagdpanzer E-100 from pretty much any side, but there's not an awful lot of this game left, so he can't afford to take his time doing it. Other advantages? Well, he's got 8 rounds of APCR ammunition, and this is a game-winning situation, so he's going to be using the APCR. You know, the limited stocks of armour-piercing, composite-rigid, premium ammunition, this is exactly what they're for. Here it comes, the moment of truth. Pokes the ridge. Didn't get spotted. Where the hell is he? Oh, there he is. Whoa, 29 health. And this is where Husky uses up his entire year's supply of luck. Sideways on, in front of a Jagdpanzer E-100's 100 and... Really? His tracks ate the shot. You lucky son of a bitch. Well, your damaged ammo rack doesn't really matter now, as long as you make this shot count, and he's going to take a while to reload, so take your time. And make sure you get him. You lucky bastard. So that was Husky Dog 44's ace tanker badge in his E-50, and he even admits it himself. He got lucky. He knows he got lucky, especially against that Jagdpanzer E-100 right at the end, but watching a Batchat unload an entire clip of premium ammunition into him without doing any damage was absolutely priceless. Well, it wasn't priceless at all. It probably cost him about 20,000 credits. Oh, well. Anyway, that's it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the replay. I'm off to the EGX show at London for the next 2 days. So, normal service will be resumed when I get back. Definitely on Saturday, possibly by Friday, depending on how early I get back from London on Friday. Until then, if you follow me on Facebook, I will be posting pictures from the show up on Facebook. But other than that, see you Saturday, possibly Friday. Take care, have fun, and I'll catch you next time.